Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here, and we are getting nearer and nearer to the war with the Soviet Union. We're going to keep this going, and hopefully on there. You don't need a Navy, just throw in a ton of naval bombers. Well, I don't know if that's actually going to get me control of the seas away from them. It might, but even then, I think I need to push harder where a little more traditionally push. I don't know. I mean, it's a good idea. I've done that kind of thing in Hearts of Iron 3 where I can handle it a little better and where I know the game a lot better for Black Ice. Like I've been saying, I am feeling out of my depth with this Black Ice. And as one person says, you don't play well. Yeah, I don't play Black Ice well. It's been a couple of years since I played it until this playthrough. And I am making this is me taking a look at this. This isn't me telling you, here's the best way to play. So I want to keep that very clear to everybody. And to a point, it does depend on what Soviet forces are out there, and maybe there's nothing. I don't know. The Black Sea. Maybe the Ukrainians have sunk it all. It's new model. Let's do. We're only having one factory. We'll get this. Okay, so we're doing 2.5 a month. These numbers are way low. Now we're doing under 2 a month until we do this. Oh yeah. I'm not biting your head off, but it just. I want audience participation and ideas, but like I say, I'm a bit at sea with all of this. Naval invasion is a pain, yep. Dutch head soup. That seems weird. Well, you know, let's no, we don't have engineering company or light self-propelled artillery, so we can't create division motorized. Okay. Yeah. But when the hell was I supposed to research all of that stuff? I don't know. Okay, let's join wars. Yes, we're going to bring you guys in just so you're at war there, even though you're not really having a front. Yeah, we'll bring you into the war as well, even though you don't have troops. Okay, charcoal engine's done. Very nice. We had started that before and then switched over. We don't really need more fuel. Well, we're getting close there. It's actually being full of fuel. Okay, we can do this. This will increase. Oh, we can do this, which will increase aircraft production assembly. I think we're going to do tanks first because we were sort of bottlenecking on the tanks. Oh, well. 3 more days. Okay, no more upgrading of divisions for a while. Don't worry, we'll conquer the Soviet Union fast. Fast, fast, fast. Problem I have with this version of Black Ice is research and national folk. Yeah, yeah. I'm going to bring that up since IKB brought it up again, and I know I talked about it earlier, but that's the big thing. They have a lot of wonderful national focuses here, and some of them, like preparing for a long winter war, should take a lot of oh, it's dragging us down. Yeah. Should take a lot of resources and or time, no doubt, but some of these other things, and they've added so much, and I know they're constantly working on it. There's the sort of in development version of the game, which I am not playing because I'm not playing fast enough, and I thank them for not constantly doing it. But there's so many things to research here that are useful, and some I would say necessary, that, and not necessarily a Black Ice, though Black Ice can change this. I think the time it takes to get production effective is way too long. Now, okay, so here we're mostly up to getting to be effective here. And we have just one factory, and we're producing 3 aircraft a month. Those are, okay, big multi-engine flying boats. I'm going to look up some of these stats at some point on some of these things, some of these aircraft and other stuff, and whether it's anti-tank, because here we're producing 9 handheld anti-tank a day with one factory, one production line. Seems awfully small for a production line. Especially if these two are the same amount of resources, if you know what I mean. This is what would be a production line of aircraft. Yeah, I know there isn't for like the aircraft. There is for handheld anti-tank. But for the aircraft, there isn't just one production line because engines are built at a different factory. And I know from watching Wings of the Luftwaffe, a great series from back in the 90s, I believe, but great series if you can watch it. They'll take something like the Ju-88 and produce something, again, I'm wrong on this, I'm sure, but just illustrating the point. The Ju-88 A1 with Junkers Jumo engines. And then they're going along and, oh, hey, yeah, we got a bunch of airframes and we need more engines. So they'll put on Messerschmitt engines or something that have similar horsepower. And they'll have to obviously modify the airframe a little bit to hold a slightly different engine. But 95% or more of the airframe is the same airframe. It's just different engines. So I know it isn't just the one. And then, of course, this also has anti-aircraft machine guns stuck all over it. But still, if this is the same amount of production time that it takes to make the Dornier 24 as this same amount of factory, and this they're only making 9 a day. I know this is 3 a month, 9 a day. No. All that it takes between all the machine guns, the engines, the airframe, there's a lot there. And so either they need to, like, oh, hey, if they want to be this granular and say, oh, well, hey, this is just one set of machinery that, bores out the rifle barrel, makes all the bits and pieces for an anti-tank rifle. Okay. And that's one thing. Okay, well, and that's fine. if that's what this represents. But then we need to, and you're going to say, well, this is maybe why there's only 3 a month. Well, we need a hell of a lot more of these factories to get anywhere near 2 a day. 2 a day. And okay, we're not fully efficient there, but 2 tanks a day here. So that's 4, okay, 4.5 tanks a day here for all of that. 4.5 tanks a day, people. No, that for all, no, that isn't their production rate. So okay, we have available war goals. Okay, well, before we pick them, and I appreciate it that they're doing that instead of just jumping us into the war. We could do Western knowledge 21 days, which gets more research speed, of course. That is nice. Romanian military training. Okay, Germany offers to buy half of Austro-Roma, which we've already done. Infrastructure. No, we haven't done these. Oh, no, we've done these. I'm confused on the colors. Because notice, if I'm not mistaken, green is completed here. Beige is not completed here. Beige is completed here. Green is not completed here. Colors coordinated. God damn it. God damn it. Unless I'm totally... Okay. Beige is completed, right? Or am I just not seeing this right? No. Green is completed. Beige is uncompleted. Can't you fuckers, and I'm pissed at you right now, Black Ice manufacturers. I mean, I'm loving your game, but I'm pissed at you right now that you can't keep this goddamn thing straight. That from one screen, green means completed, and beige or gold or whatever you want to call this means uncompleted. And you go over to this other screen, and it's the reverse. Green is uncompleted. Beige. Yes, gamer breakdown. Break out the booze, everyone else. I don't drink booze, but you can drink from me. Can't you just, I mean, you're doing a good job at creating icons, better than I would. We've talked about, that these are all taking, I just blanket go through these, and probably all the nations, but at least Germany, because that's the only one I've really looked at. And I'm not saying glanced at, I mean, really sort of looked at, cut them all in half, minimum. And then maybe some need to be as long as they are now. Figure that out. Increase the time. Some maybe should be even shorter. Some maybe should be just like 1 day instead of 15 days to complete this, instead of 28 days to complete that. Instead of Waffen SS expansion, why is this 14 days? I don't know. Why is that a national focus? Okay, I'm going to do one of these two here. Not, we're doing okay on that. We're either going to do, these should have been done, because these happened. Again, Black Ice people, and yes, I'm still upset about this freaking wrong colors going back and forth. And I mean, this is a simple thing to get the colors the same on both screens. But you have it, so I can't just do this. But again, I don't think I have been unhistorically focused in certain areas, and I mean, I should already have this done, I would think. Okay, underground factories, well, this is, maybe requires, well, it requires that, but, this was a little bit later in, the war or something like that. So yeah, maybe power diving through, but Luftwaffe zones should already be built, and um, other things like that. Not the Atlantic Wall yet, but we haven't built the Atlantic Wall. So, but these should have been happening in both of these in 39. Both of them in 39. But no, factory output 5%. Grants factory. Okay, let's go to works. We'll do this. So these should all have been happening well before now. Again, there may be one or two or a few more, I don't know, that should have not happened as fast. Okay, so we can declare war on the Soviet Union. Well, before we do that, we're going to wait. We're going to do this. Hey, Frog Eyes. Well, you've helped me a lot, and I'll agree with you on that I have to plan better. But still, both of these, and probably the Nibelungen. Well, okay, this just says September, so they're putting a date on. Good, you're putting a date. And I don't know the Austrian oil, but the Peenemünde Center, that should have been long ago done. But 56 days, fucking 56 days. What? So 56 days, 28 days, so 60, 150, 100 plus days. What 100 plus days stuff that I have done that I shouldn't have done. Oh, and I've not done any tactical Air Force or any of this. Not done any Navy stuff. Heaven forbid do Navy stuff. Harris Doctrine, Artillery Corps. I haven't done any of that stuff. So yeah, tell me where, Frog Eyes. Hey, Spiraling, that I should have not focused on, because I've constantly had, or functionally constantly had, one national focus after another. And if there's some national focus that would half the time or double the speed that you completed or something like that I should have done early on, tell me. But there's just, oh, we haven't done any of the Enigma stuff. Is this just meant not to do? I mean, really, people, yeah, I get some of the stuff you're absolutely right about, but maybe I should plan better. Not saying that it's all well. But when I look and see historical things that presume I should have been able to do some of this. Okay, so we now need to withdraw our air forces. Well, let's take a quick look. Okay, well, we're not seeing what's here is because France now controls, or Free France now controls that territory, so they've lost. So let's move our bombers back up here. Yeah, they can all come to here. We'll move our long-range fighters. Well, yeah, we'll move them also to here. Okay. Well, they've been south. Yes. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to leave those guys. Now the medium bombers, they're going to come north here. Could have some deeper range. We want you a little closer to the border areas. So yes, and put you up here. you're going to here. Well, so far they have not been bombing me, which is nice. Don't know if that means I should be. Okay, well, there I think you are wrong, IKB. It's just they're using national focuses wrong, in my opinion. And they're using it wrong in one of two ways. And this was discussed way back when all this was created. And people were commenting that very, very thing originally. Should they have more than one be able to have more than one national focus available at any one time, researching. And the statement was, well, this is the national focus. The national focus. So no, you can't focus on more than one thing at once. And they're right about that. But if you're using it as a national focus, then they're absolutely right about it, that they should just have one national focus at a time. What they're using this for is for a lot of things that should be decisions, shall we say. Now, I get the idea. Now, and I also explained to me that this, instead of having these be decisions, this is a roadmap. If you're going to use this as a roadmap, that whether you want to do Operation Leela or you want to get to the America bomber, you need to know how to get there. And so, instead of like, oh, hey, I'm not going to do this, I'm going to do some, especially if there's like, this or that, or, as Frog Eye say, you got to plan better. If you got to like, oh, shoot, I wanted the American bomber. I didn't realize I had to do these two things to do it, even if they're not like bypassed or skipped, but just been sitting idle for a long time, and they're going to take a while to come into effect. Well, fine. Now, again, I am not worried about the idea that you decide to have Panamunde Research Center, and it shouldn't necessarily be an insta-complete, add rocket site. You may go, oh, hit this here, and then start a countdown over here that would then have an event that happens 56 days later. Because let's get back to here. Because I was looking at this as 56 days. So if you want to say, well, that's 56 days to build a rocket center, you don't get that instantly. Well, fine. I'm good with that. And you could easily, have this take one day, do this research center. So if you want to use this as a roadmap, you just, you may want to put, well, like they already obviously have prerequisites, of doing an earlier focus. And then, or you might want to say, well, this shouldn't happen until 1938 or some date, whatever this may be. Or until you control some territory because this is happening in the Soviet Union or whatever it is. That's absolutely fine. And some of these might, because they are sort of national focuses, take a fair amount of time to have happen. That is legit. But you can take a lot of these, and like I say, they're doing a great job here in that having these things happen and then fire an event that either you get to do some more input on in more detail, or just explains things, come up. So they're doing it. If they want to use it as a roadmap, fine, I'm good with that. But you should not, like I say, be spending a lot of time having them complete. So one way or another, they're doing it wrong. If they're going to just do it for real national focuses, then fine. Or you could obviously do a mix of things too. Like I say, some that really should be national focuses, meaning the nation is focusing on them. Fine, do that. And have those take more time. And everybody else just, or all the others, just come and do it at, those. So in between the major national focuses that take like 70 days or something, when you get a break by, you may go bing, 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 and hit, a bunch of 1 day focuses that all happen. That then could, take a while to get the effects from. I think the completion time should change over time. I'm not sure, but I don't know what you mean by that. I understand the words you're saying, but I don't know how you mean that. Okay, we're getting our air into place. Get it back to here. So our air is sort of up here and around. What are you still doing over there? Okay, no, you need to come over Poland. You need to come over there. I think we have enough fighters to create another fighter wing here. Okay, yes, we have a bunch of Emils. We have a hell of a lot of Emils. Okay, you come up over here and do air superiority missions. And we'll grab some more fighters. And again, I wish it would stay right. This is not a, this is a Hearts of Iron issue. Wish it would stay right where I last had it. Okay, 9900. Well, let's put them over here. Okay, they're over Warsaw. These guys will put them over here. Fighters. These guys. Bombers. Who here is going after shipping? Okay, they're doing shipping and ground attack close support, so that's fine. There's no ships, so I was wondering about that. Okay, standing by. Okay, all right, you guys, yeah, you go up to there. They're deploying build in and operate. Okay, well, let's give them a few moments to sort of get operating. We're going to hit save again. And now, well, nope, one more prep thing. We're going to, can we start setting up? No, we can't. Okay, because I know I've not planned attacks, and I know I should. Let's declare war. Yes, I guess we're going to, no, yes, annex. We've declared war on the Soviet Union. Yay. The crusade against Bolshevism has started. Let's see if we're going to... Now, I know I'm not prepared for this, so if this doesn't go well, I'm not going to completely blame Black Ice for it, so long as it isn't too terrible. Oh. Yes, we're starting with mostly just infantry attacks here. See how well they're going to start and go. Hello, Enigma. How you doing? Okay, well... Okay, we're no longer going to get those. Italy is not in enough wars yet, it thinks. It wants to join another war. So great. You can join another war. Yay. More war. I mean, you know, if you were like conquering everywhere and not had lost Sardinia and not, you know, thinking about losing North Africa, you know, hey, that might be a good plan. Yeah, Iraq is getting pounded there. At least we are not being hit with too terrible of attrition or something. Two divisions decide to push that way. So they're pushing down that way. With the cavalry division there. Okay, that they've just pushed out of there the enemy, so we want to push up that way with you and you in a coordinated measure. the air war. Oh, well, we need... Okay. Well, let's see what we can do here. Yeah, we've got a bunch of these guys. So, let's do that. 45, yes, up here. And go after bombers. Let's come down here. And they're still deploying here, but let's do another more smaller fighters here and go after that. There we go. Once we get those units deployed. Okay, good. You infantry attack there and defend them. You join that attack. We pushed all the way into here. They're coming in to support them. Very good. You support that attack, and you two divisions attack that way. We're pushing north here. These guys are defending there. So let's push both of these guys to counterattack there. All these other units move up. These two can attack here. Okay, that'll stop that. Okay. 3 divisions hit here. 2 divisions hit there. Okay, fuel refining. Because now we're using lots of fuel. But it's going to take 5 years. At this current rate to use up all of our fuel. Okay, we just got fuel refining. I think it was this one here. So more gains of fuel, which is good. Storage capacity, well, we don't really need more storage right now. More fuel gain from refining, please. More fuel gain. Yeah, maybe I'm pushing these a little hard. I don't know. Like I say, some of the stuff maybe, and again, like I've said before, and I do mean it, I do feel a bit lost at playing this because there's a lot to this. Game, not just black ice. Okay, well, we sort of delayed our armor push here, maybe a little longer than we should have. I recommend this. Oh, we should slow this up clockwise, anyways. Playing this much more slowly here. And carefully than what I'm doing. Okay. Oh, well, we really haven't been doing Romania, have we? Okay. I've been focusing on the wrong, well, not the wrong, but on other things. Okay. Wow, the Romanians are pushing in. Now, you may think that this is... Hey, ZZ. Good to have you here. Now, you may just think this is... Gamer wants an easier time, or with some games it's just so too easy. Comparing what is happening now with... I got Alt-Tab over here. Oh boy, what am I? I'm blanking on the name. I don't want to shout out the wrong name of the mod. The one that I rage quit. Here, let me just World Ablaze. Okay, World Ablaze. Maybe I was blocking that out intentionally. I don't know. When we were played it, hey John, good to have you here. Is Twitch janky for anyone else? Okay, I don't. It seems good for me. I'm watching myself back on Twitch and other things. Seems good, but it may be. I don't know. So do know, ZZ, you can always go over to YouTube if you don't like the Twitch connectivity. I'm there too. So it's good for IKB. What I mean is the focuses should work like research. Yeah, that's oh, as in the ability to. Oh, I understand. I think I know what you mean. As in, uh, I think this is what you mean. Is like here with research speed sped up. If this is what you mean, is meaning whether it's just literally the clock going or things you focus on or research or whatever to speed up national. I disagree. I disagree. I mean, not that that's a terrible idea, but you gotta sell me on the details of why that would work better. It's weird. Your channel is fine and everything. It's just everything else on the sidebars is weird. Yeah, I don't know, ZZ. Again, like I say, you can watch me wherever you want. Again, to pimp it out, Kick, Rumble, YouTube, and even Twitter as well as Twitch. So wherever you feel like you want to watch this live stream, it's live there. So 5 different places. So I hope everyone can find their favorite viewing platform. Hello. What is that? Expert Bless. How you doing over on Rumble? Good to see you there. I do try to pay attention to the Rumble and the Kick Twitch chat, although I'm just where I have it, I'm used to looking and seeing the YouTube and Twitch has cut through one thing. Yes. Call you Bless. Okay, well, very good, Bless. Well, the stream is going well. Like I say, I'm streaming to a bunch of people here on different platforms. But good to have you over on Rumble. Try to be everywhere I can. So, okay, like with World Ablaze, we were hitting, and you can look at the stuff, massive amounts of equipment attrition, and it was because of buffs and penalties put on. How long have I been? You mean just generally speaking, or today? Good. Arno is my moderator. Oh, 6 months or more. I've been streaming on Rumble as well as the others. I'm a I use Restream and stream to multiple sources, multiple places at once. I believe very much in not just being in one place. And we were hitting huge mouths just going into. Yeah, I've been streaming here for about 2 months. I love it here. Yeah, I get a little bit of interaction over on Rumble, not that much. I wish for more. What I really love about live streaming is the interaction. Okay, you guys start moving forward. You guys start moving forward. And you two, we'll leave the others sitting there for the moment because we want to try to create a bit of a pocket here. No. Drive this way, then that way. Drive this way, then. that we've got some more divisions that I was anticipating coming here. You attack there just to slow these guys, pin them in location. Okay, Ecuador and Peru signed white peace. Okay, and so we were getting these massive penalties, and they were getting massive buffs, and I hate this. There are, and I know I've talked about this on a lot of different episodes of various streams, so some of you, hi Yoshihisa Shimazu, you probably watched most of my live streams, so you're hearing a lot of this things repeated, but I know a lot of people are new around here. A Soviet division and a German division, and yes, it changes over time, but they're not an equal thing. A lot of stuff you might consider Soviet after the reorganization of the post-Winter War, and realizing that the Soviet divisions were big, and because of the earlier purges, and I would also say because of the commissars that were creating fear within the commanders, they did not have the skill and training to operate big divisions. So they reduced down the size of the division. So let's just say, for broad terms, a Soviet division really sort of equals a brigade. And a Soviet corps, and it's not, the numbers aren't quite right here, but Soviet corps sort of kind of equals a German corps. But the way it also sort of works out is, when you say that, is it's not just how many men with rifles or how many artillery pieces per one of these units. The Germans have, and they still do this to this day, have NCOs commanding platoons. Not just because it happens in World War II, at least a lot of times, where you just have NCOs commanding platoons, because we don't have enough lieutenants right here, right now, at a given moment. But in theory, there's supposed to be a lieutenant in every army platoon, which there would be, But no, for the Germans, no, it's NCOs are qualified personnel. You don't need officers for platoons, and they are right, because the Americans, I'm not saying like the British or somebody else, the Americans do not have commanding officers for platoons. You have platoon leader. And because of my ROTC background, they very much drilled that into us. You're the leader. You're not the commander of that unit. You're the leader. You don't become a commander until you become a captain, because it's partially, yes, you lead by example and you're supposed to lead this platoon, but partially it was, you're new here. You don't know what you're doing really, or you don't know what you're doing as well as that NCO who has been, whether with that particular unit or not, that's another thing, but has been in the Army longer, and they know what they're doing better than what you know what you're doing. You're sort of learning to become a company commander. So where and so maybe in some cases, or in a lot of cases, this may be just a title change without a distinction difference, but the U.S. Army really sort of means it. And so, yeah, you don't necessarily, if you have a good functioning army, you really don't need officers who are platoon commanders. But it's a good way to get practical experience, even in peacetime, to become better officers when you actually start commanding units. So the Germans have a much better command and control situation in their leadership, in their radios and field telephones, just simply more of those and better in both of those cases. So, it's the Soviets may, in theory, have as many artillery pieces and may, in theory, have as many artillery shells per gun at any one given moment, ready to shoot. But the Germans are going to shift their fire more effectively from, target to target and coordinate and so fight their divisions better. So at this stage, the Soviet divisions might have enough ammunition, both as in small arms and artillery, might have enough officers, and might have a fair morale, at this very early stage. They're still paranoid over the purges and all kinds of stuff in the Winter War and whatnot. But they're just not able to stand up to the German army. And if this war, historically, was going to be decided by the border, by divisions stationed along the border, because now this game here will station all divisions by the border and not have, military, which they did historically, have military zones in the rear with lots of divisions. They'll put all their divisions along some sort of border. They may have huge amounts of divisions somewhere else on guarding some other border, which is unimportant. But they don't get defense in depth here, this AI. So, but if it was going to be, and not the literal border here, but the sort of border zone, if that was going to be the decision as who wins or loses the war, the Barbarossa, the war between Germany and the Soviet Union, Germany would clean its clock, the Soviets, and kick in the door and win. There's just no question historically. I'm talking historically. I'm not saying what we've set up here now. So any game that is a simulation might be overstating it, but is somewhat modeling World War II. This should be easy, which is sort of going real easy right now, which is good. It's this here, as IKB, who's our local railway expert here, or the new IKB, if you his full thing here knows, that this, partially because of the because our officers complained that the Soviet railway gauges differ from our own ones. That's bad. This makes Soviet railway system almost completely useless to everyone except the USSR. Now, I would say and IKB can chime in the chat with as much information as he wants here. And I'm sure it's all going to be good and probably better than mine. I'm going to say that's mostly true. Germany does capture a fair amount of both the rolling stock, the train cars, and engines in reasonable condition and can operate it, and does. The problem is you have to, at whatever point that you interact, you have to unload a German train and then load it into a Soviet train, and on off it goes until you to reconfigure it. Now, the Germans know the railway difference. I mean, it's the same Imperial Soviet railway difference that they had to deal with, literally these exact same railroads, when they occupy this big chunk of the Soviet Union, or Russia, at the time, at the Brest-Litovsk Treaty, which ends the Soviet-German element of World War I, because the Bolsheviks have taken over the government and does the peace. So they know that there's different railways. This is not a surprise to anyone who paid attention. I'm not saying every infantry officer or every artillery officer that was involved in the occupation deep in, or even when they get in and push into Warsaw, that's at a different gauge. The Poles never fully unify the gauge under their period of control of Poland. Germany, I think, mostly goes through a massive, I know they do a massive upgrade to the Polish railway network before Barbarossa starts. The Reichsbahn does. I think they fully get it to the German gauge by that point. So this isn't a surprise to the Germans. This is just, a thing that they know about. And, again, the Reichsbahn is well informed. German military logistics is well informed. I don't know why they didn't better plan for it. I think they did plan for it to a degree, but Notice I said, so this, whether it's, and they do spend a lot of effort re-gauging the railway as they move east, repairing bridges, repairing just destroyed track sections, repairing, you know, junction areas around major cities. They do all of that throughout their period of occupation and continue to do so. That, and again, I have not. I've watched some episodes of it, and he's still continuing it though. TIK, great YouTuber. I think he's getting all of his facts right. I disagree with some of his analysis. And he probably, looking back, may disagree on some of his, looking back at what he knows now, as we all continue to learn, may disagree with some of his analysis. But great guy. I know he's a much bigger YouTuber than me, but I'm saying I'm generally agreeing with him. Looking at Stalingrad, and he's, people say, well, what if you sent in some more divisions early enough on? Well, the problem is they would have just starved because Germany did not have the infrastructure just to send in more divisions and be able to feed them, not just food, but, munitions, fuel, all of that kind of stuff. The division itself as a fighting force, not maybe literally with just food if they focused on that, but ammunition would have starved out because the infrastructure just wasn't there. And so what I'm really hoping for with this Black Ice game, and what got me, they had massive mouths last time I played this game, right along in this zone, massive mouth, or bonuses to the Soviets or whatever it was. But they don't have that right now, which is great. And this is sort of what I was looking for, is I want a game that pushing in deep will be the problem with railways and other supply elements. So this is what I'm looking forward to. And then we'll see about the struggling of keeping that going. So, there may be some national focuses or other things here. So let me check up. Okay. I think sometime because not good if you get maybe these focus become obsolete. So some focuses at the right time to get. Like unlock it over the years. Yeah, I sort of see what you're saying. Scavin, or however I should call you. I'm not sure what I should keep calling you, but okay. Let's see. Time to start re-gauging operations. The Germans plan on capturing much more Soviet locos and wagons than they did. That very well could be IKB. I don't know what you've read that says that they planned more on it, or just was a presumption, just everyone presumed. I don't know. Soviet locos built with bigger water and coal tanks. Okay, I didn't know that specifically, but I can understand that because of greater distances. Soviet tracks had lower axle loading and were not as well built as German European railways. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of technical details like that I just don't get, because I don't study it as closely as you do. But yeah, so yeah, a major element of the National Socialist regime, the Third Reich, was the Reichsarbeitsdienst. I'm sure I'm butchering that German. I don't intend to, but you can listen to my funny accent. Just waving to you all out there. And basically that translates into National Labor Service. The theory, and for a while the practice matches up with the theory, but as the war happens, things fall apart, is that all youth go into, in theory, in practice, we can talk about it. Obviously, the wrong kind of youth we're not talking about here. Jews and other wrong types people. Again, this is from the National Socialists, not my views. I don't agree with any of this National Socialist views. Just got to say that if anybody's jumping in and doesn't know me well. Okay, get that out of the way. The wrong type of youth, no. But the right type of youth, everybody goes into the Hitler Youth, boys and girls. Mostly during peacetime the young men would then go after the Hitler Youth into the Rad. That was forced, would be maybe overstating it for peacetime, but I don't know exactly the laws or requirements, but it may be. Women, it was sort of becoming more of a select voluntary thing. And then after, and it varies from because of war conditions, but it was thought to be sort of like 18 months into the Rad for young men. And then after that, and that during the Hitler Youth era, time of their growing up, as well as during the Rad, they get military like training, meaning how to shoot a rifle, how to march, basic marching drills, about face, right face, left face, all that. Obviously, they'd be saying it in German and whatnot, but doing all that basic sort of military type, grounding going on through all this time, so that by the time they're actually going into the army or the other, services, the Luftwaffe, the Navy, they'd have a certain background of training. So you're now giving them just, a bit more expert training, if you will. Now, as the war goes on, it becomes more and more required for women to join the Rad. Now, the Rad is not the army. They are not a military organization. They are a political labor service. Didn't know that you left. Sorry. So I don't know what you missed. Everything. Okay, thanks, Bless. Thank you very much over there on Rumble for dropping the like. I appreciate that. So, they do a lot of farm work, a lot of outdoor work, not so much, I'm not saying none, but not so much working in factories. The Rad does a lot of, in peacetime and continuing into the war, putting land back into or bringing it into, agricultural production use. And it's a tangled bunch of railway right there. And that type of thing. Both farming, but also just getting more area into farming. But they also, starting with Poland a bit, more so with France and definitely with the Soviet Union, were set up because it is a quote unquote sort of paramilitary, type organization, that they follow along behind the front lines, but just behind the front lines, doing military useful labor. Now, these are mostly the men. I'm not going to say, especially as time goes on, zero women, but mostly the men. And so they're armed. They are, you could argue, illegally armed, but they're armed, but they're not, they all have like a rifle and some bullets. It's not like they got machine guns and mortars and really going to fight out. It's more self-protection arming them up, so that if they're out there and there's a counteroffensive, or if there's some stragglers, units that are breaking out, they've at least got something to sort of kind of shoot back at. So they're not really a military. They might be, functioning unit, except for, I would say, the only military sort of function it would be securing a location behind the front lines. Like, oh, you guys get to guard that bridge until somebody tells you not to. That they're coming along to, replace you. So they might be put on, rear area security kind of duties. But mostly the idea is see that bridge over there? Yeah, we've been, ferrying vehicles across the river, but because that bridge is blown up, build us a new one, whatever. And so they would, work with military engineers, but, give the labor power to get a bridge back in operation or other things. But they were also doing operations like re-gauging the railways early on. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff going on. The Germans are somewhat prepared for it, but not nearly enough. Not what they should be prepared for it. At least not in my opinion. Okay, you guys go, and you guys go there, because these guys are being pushed here. I want to close this gap. Close all these divisions in there right away. Okay, we got a bunch of infantry here. So we're going to, okay, these three. You just go into there. You guys cross this river. Do you have naval in the Black Sea? No, I don't at the moment. Arno, no naval bombers in the Black Sea. We have not enough even up here in the Baltic. Oh, we got a Soviet submarine here. Well, that's cool. Okay, you guys are advancing, you guys are advancing. You guys aren't, but I'm more afraid of getting you cut off. These guys are coming across the river very soon. Alright, so Kingdom of Italy, Hungary, and our Soviet war, good. Okay, now let's keep... Okay, we're pushing up there. I guess we should move it to here, and you guys can move it to there. We've got reinforcements coming here, guys. Okay. You come here and keep moving. You come here and keep going up to there. Keep pushing. You guys are crossing here. And you push on to there. Okay, we got a bunch of infantry divisions here. Let's send 2 down this way. 1 to attack there, and you're going to support the attack there. Okay, we've got this whole pocket cut off. Very good. Well, now that the pocket is cut off, let's attack here. And let's attack here. You guys move forward. You move forward as well. Let's just take a quick look here. Okay, how well equipped are we? Are we missing anything significantly? So far, no. Okay, 1 machine gun, that's fine, yeah. Interesting mix of machine guns, mortars, yes. Trucks, okay, got lots of trucks. Radios, good. Recon equipment, missing 1. Okay, so it just looks like some minor. They got their cavalry tanks using a bunch of French ones. The Salma S-35s. Light tanks. Mostly Panzer 1 still. They still historically use Panzer 1s. And support tanks there are fully supported. Okay, good. Some of these guys. Yeah, you can join the war against the Bolsheviks. You can join the war against the Bolsheviks. Yeah, you can join the war against the Bolsheviks. Very good. Okay, well, we got the armor. Let's push hard, push hard. Push hard. Okay, these guys are here. Okay, there's a few too many here. Okay, you drive this way. We don't want you to keep pushing up here. You push there. You guys are gonna... You're 1 division there. The others this way. Can you read the naval battles? Certainly, we can take a look at some of those, Arno. Now, that's something I can do. Let's see. Okay, out here, we sunk 9 British convoys. Very good. Down here in the Mediterranean, inconclusive air actions. Well, they destroyed some German convoys. Now, why do we have German convoys in the Mediterranean right now? Okay, let's block this from German. What? Why? Why? Why not just come down through this way and supply them across this little strait here? So they're still freaking... I thought I turned off using this base here. They're still trying to supply out through here to there. That seems ridiculous. I mean, just... I thought I turned that stuff off, but yeah. Okay, well... I think that's sort of kind of it, aren't it? Right now. Get the armor moving. Keep the armor moving. You guys can support this attack. Okay, good. We're down here. Good. You keep coming down. See, I'm trying to create a pocket here. These guys hopefully will get across this river soon. Pushing it that way. No. Okay, yeah, you're almost there, so you keep moving down to here. Keep coming down to there. Mostly good. No, you don't need to go into there. You stop. You guys are... Some of you guys are coming in here, aren't you? Well, make sure we get a couple coming into there just to occupy that. The supply AI favors sea lift too much. Needs to be a place where you can tell it to only use the seas that only... Yeah, well, I have forbidden them using these seas, but I need Germany to be able to send subs out of the Bay of Biscay. So I've told it to avoid it if at all costs, or if it can. And so obviously when I send subs in and out of here, they need to go through there. But beyond that, I don't know what I can do. There may be something I can do here, but I don't know what it is. I wish it was like Hearts of Iron 3 in that I could manually deal with both supply and resources coming and going. So I wish I could, but I can't. At least not yet. Well, the problem there, IKB, is, and it might help, but do note, I have very few divisions out here. Yes, we are supplying some naval bases and whatnot, and so that does take some supply. But do note, all my current construction is railways. Some of Palais de Calais repair, but that's not currently used for construction, is trying to build up railways going in the east. So just getting to the former border. So, and we will see about, once we get deeper in, upgrading Soviet railways. So I don't know when I'm going to get free industrial capacity to change the situation. I might get that soon. I don't know. Mobile warfare. Well, great. We've already got Brest-Litovsk. Cool. Pause. You support that attack. Okay. We just got... what was it? Mobile warfare. Yes. But we do have other... Okay, we've done pretty good there. Okay, this command here, we've gotten brigade, corps. Now, Army HQ we could do here, which will experience gains for leadership coalition, max army experience. Useful, but not maybe critical. I think we'll push ahead earlier for the Sherplunk. So, there are some focuses which will help. Are you thinking the railways? I'm guessing. I do believe that I saw some. Oh, come on. Okay. Supply lines. Okay. Surrender progress. Permanent supply lines here. Loot force 1. We got to get more than 100% progress, or more than 0% progress in. Okay, elastic or encirclement doctrine. So these 20 armored divisions. Well, we're not anywhere near that. So winter equipment production. Yeah, has railway artillery. Okay, we don't have any railway. War behind the front. So yeah, we'll see if some of these do come out and help us at some point. Mostly, and you can look at where I've commented otherwise. Mostly my problem with the national focuses are just how long they're taking to happen. Not otherwise, really. Okay, good. We're here, so that means we need to come to here. And these guys are going to support this attack. These guys are going to come down here. They can cross over here, these guys. Now let's send one division up there. Let's just sort of see if we can... Yes, good. Now we will hit them with that. Pin those forces there. Yeah, you can join the push into there. Okay, they're going to push in. They're coming up to here. Okay, these guys are already here. So you and you go that way. Right. You can join that push there. Trying to keep the units from breaking out while we occupy that province. They are on the far left of the tree. Okay, let me see if I can see. Thank you for that, Frog Eyes. You've been a great help, Frog Eyes. Oh, here, yes. Oh, okay, yes. Well, we need to do the Reichsbahn first. Oh no, we've completed. Again, the colors is. Get your fucking colors right. Okay, so we need to control territory, which makes absolute perfectly sense. See, again, these are the kind of things that you give me, you know, conditions like control certain, you know, regions, and then you get to do them. This makes perfect sense. This is the kind of thing. And again, whether, see, I am coming around more and more as I'm playing this with all of these things. I think these should be happening, you know, from 0 days to 5 days, literally that kind of thing. But then maybe take 35, 56 days, you know, have one of these things that takes that amount of time before the event or decision or whatever fires that has it completed. So you push the button and it takes a while for the effect to happen in game. I'm good with that. I don't necessarily like instant effects for something like repairing a bunch of railways. So, you know, that kind of thing I'm good with. I really am with the idea of, okay, you're going to now attack it to there, and you're going to support that attack into there, keep them from breaking out. That's why we have some units just sitting there. Let's look at our current air control. Okay, so it's red there. Okay, well, it's just chewing up our air, I'm sure. Okay, well, they ended up coming here and not being needed now. All right, well, we're going to let this go for the moment. No problem. Sure, see you tomorrow, Singh. I hope everything works out okay. Hope it's just a minor emergency thingy. You know. Somebody needs something now. One division joins that attack. Yeah, let's put through there. Okay, enemy agent turn, but can we... Okay. Let's push here with you guys there. Yeah, I guess. Well, okay, this pocket is crushed entirely. So you guys start moving forward. You guys come this way. You guys move into there. You guys push here. You guys push north here. We'll get these railroads straightened out. But let's save this. Okay, so far, so good in the in my expectations of what is a reasonably decent modeling of Barbarossa. Just the Soviets incapable of defending, They should be. That's just the state of their army. Now, I'm good with the idea of having, national focuses for the Soviets to organize their army up better. But those should be non-historical ones, and since I've picked, have the AI follow the historical precedents, they shouldn't be picking them until it's appropriate. So humans are where I look for more flexibility, but with the AI, this is working the way I think it should be. Okay, well, we're going to end this episode here. I want to thank you all so much, and remember, of course, to like the videos and comment. Really appreciate that. See you next time for more, yes, more Hearts of